Hi, I'm Melissa Brown with Newmel Properties, and on today's segment, we're going to talk about crawl spaces. And I have my favorite contractor with me again today, Mark Robertson. So Mark, let's go into crawl spaces. People are kind of afraid of them. They're cold, they're icky, spiders, all sorts of things. How do we keep a crawl space dry? How do we maintain it?
The first thing you want to do is check it. Regular maintenance, make sure you're keep an eye on your crawl space. It's not just part of your house. It's kind of like the attic, it's there for a reason.
Right.
You can't just not check it out and keep an eye on it. It's should be part of your regular home maintenance schedule, just like anything else. So you want to check it a couple times a year, especially when seasons change. And make sure it's venting properly and you're getting enough air, and or in the winter months you want to keep it kind of sealed up, so especially if your pipes are under there, you don't
Want those to freeze.
Yeah, you don't want those to freeze and stuff like that. So making sure your foundation vents are opened or closed, or if you have automatic foundation vents, which are great, making sure they're functioning properly, and just checking the moisture levels. And it's not hard to do. It's nothing more than opening your crawl space door and sticking your head in there.
Right.
Turn the light on and look around. If it's super damp, you're gonna know it real quick. Yeah, it's not gonna be an issue of knowing it, because as soon as you stick your head under there, you're gonna feel it.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing.
And if somebody does have high moisture levels in their crawl space, what are some things that they can do to remediate that?
Making sure you have good airflow down there, especially during the summer months and when it's really humid and stuff. Making sure your foundation vents are open. If you have some moisture issues down there and you feel like it's a problem, you can always open your crawl space door. Make sure all your foundation vents are open. Put a box fan in the door opening and just get some air circulating under there. Let it run. If you're home all day on a Saturday or a Sunday, let it run all day long, and just see if that helps. See if just running. A lot of times, just moving some air around in there will kind of settle some of that moisture and fix some of the problems. Making sure your vapor barrier is secure. Vapor barrier is very important.
Now, before you go into that, let's kind of let everybody know what vapor barrier is, just in case you don't know.
Vapor barrier is the plastic poly that's laying on the dirt, protecting the moisture coming up from the ground, protecting your crawl space area.
Right.
It's generally around a 20 mil or something, a fairly thick poly. It should be all the way around your crawl space with no gaps. It should be overlapped at least 12 inches. If it's disturbed or if it's pulled back in areas, you want to make sure. A lot of times, people crawl around under there doing stuff or moving stuff. Even construction workers, or somebody checking your HVAC or something could kind of disturb
it up a little.
Yeah. Just make sure it's all laid out flat and overlapped and there's no gaps in it. That's a key role when keeping some of the moisture from the ground from coming up.
Sure.
So you want to make sure that's secure and keeping the moisture from the ground from getting into your crawl space.
So let's talk a little bit about, I've had a couple of inspection reports that have came up for buyers, and there's been higher moisture content levels, which unfortunately creates mold. So let's kind of go into, you have a home, there's mold in the crawl space. How do we take care of that?
Mold's a sticky subject because
that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, I tell people, there's a lot of DIY. You can look anything up on the internet, and there's a lot of things that people want to do it yourself these days. Mold issues is one thing I tell people don't mess with.
Exactly.
There's mold remediation experts for a reason. It's a huge health concern, and it affects some people more than others, but it affects everybody 100%. The remediation experts that come out, they have the proper equipment to get under there to not hurt themselves, and B, to dispose of it properly. And it's money well spent.
That's a great point.
You can't put a price on your health or your family's health or the next person that's living in your house's health. So you want to make sure it's done right. The biggest misconception people have is, oh, there's some mold and I see it on the bottom of the floor joist, so I'm just going to take a brush and some bleach and just scrub it down.
Does not work.
Bleach doesn't work. Bleach will not remove mold. Yeah, you have to have an antimicrobial.
Right.
cleaner. And there's a process to doing it. You know, sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 times of trying to strip that stuff away to get it all off. And
Exactly.
and chances are good. You know, if you're seeing mold and mold spores on your floor joists, chances are really good it's already in your insulation.
I was going to bring that up, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, so, you know, just thinking you can go under there with a little bit of bleach and a brush and a dust mask that you bought from your home improvement center,
Right.
it's probably not the best way to go about
Exactly.
it. You know, you might get 5% of it, but you're not going to get 100% of it. And it's one of those things where you want to get 100% of it.
Right.
So, and it's dangerous to handle too. You know, once you touch it, it's in the air.
Right.
And once it's in the air, you're breathing it.
Yep.
So
Call
it's
the professional.
Yeah, call the professionals.
They have these companies for a reason, so give them a call.
Yeah, it's one thing you just don't want a chance for trying to save a buck and do it yourself.
Exactly.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So
There you have it. Crawl Space Maintenance 101 from Mark. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.